What started in March ends this afternoon. The Eagles and the Pies at the MCG, the last game of the season. 198 home and away games, 8 finals, all in the rearview mirror. Have a look at this. The crowd continues to roll in. Happy Pies fans. Who wins this afternoon? You can find out by watching 7. We've got everything covered.
It's finally here. That one day in September when we all dream the impossible dream. We'll bring you a fabulous feast of footy and entertainment right through the day and into the evening. The working class man himself will star in the post-game premiership party when the players will be presented on stage. Can Jimmy top Jack's memorable cameo from last year? Will be with us on the kick later this morning, along with the Black Eyed Peas. Melbourne skipper Nathan Jones will also join Das, Sam, Richo, Lingy and JB for a big show.
What table is Tommy Lynch sitting on tonight, do you know?
Kicking off the coverage on game day, we'll relive the magic moments dissect the issues that made an unforgettable season.
Set shot, he's done it! The Cats have won it!
Joining us are the stars of the competition: Phil Davis, Sean Higgins, Sean Burgoyne, Alex Johnson, Brownlow medalist Nat Fyfe and Jimmy Bartell, Jude Bolton, and your host, Hamish McLaughlin.
Hi everybody, good morning. Thanks for joining us on 7. What a day it is. The Melbourne Cricket Ground, it sits there. The house of fun and adventure. The venue where we get used to expecting the unexpected. 2:30 the bounce this afternoon. For 22 players, they go home satisfied. For 22, they think about what could have been and think about 2019. So much to play up, so much to talk about. The next 2 hours we'll talk about what we've seen this year as we welcome in Jimmy Bartell, Phil Davis and Sean Higgins. Great to have you men here.
Well, good to be here, Hame. Yeah, it's an unbelievable feeling, isn't it? Jim's just been running us through his 4 grand finals, but for Phil and I, there's a touch of jealousy as a current day player that we're not involved.
You'd love to be involved, Phil, but you've got to tip your hat to those that are here. The Eagles and the Pies against all the odds.
Yeah, I must admit, as I've gone through my career, you realise how hard it is to get here, and these 2 teams in particular have had different runs to get here, but as Sean said, it's jealousy, but it's one of the great motivating factors of the year, watching a grand final. The envy when that final siren goes is about as high as it ever gets. You just book this day in your calendar each year and just sort of plan around it, don't you, Jimmy?
Yeah, if you can't get a free meal in grand final week, you're not working hard enough as a former player. You can take the chicken or the beef all week. But look, I do have still a bit of envy. I love what grand final day is when you see all the crowd roll in nice and early. You know, the members is going to be packed. Just the best week in the football calendar.
It's a superb day, but as I said, we're going to look back and see what's happened so far this year. We're going to start, Sean, with your favourite moment of the year.
Yeah, well, my favourite moment of the year came against the old Mob Hame. Middle way through the year, it was a tough game for us. We were down by just over a kick with a minute or so to go, and the footy gods are on our side this day because it was almost the perfect passage of play in 30, 40 seconds, and it resulted in the skipper kicking the goal and a little bit of carry on against the old Mob as well, but Scotty was happy.
He was involved, I think, 3 times in the passage. Phil, he took himself out of the first one just for humbleness.
Well, he kicked it to himself out of the back pocket and ran, and he said before it was a genius handball to Brown. Everyone's like, why wouldn't you handball to Brown? Would have got tackled. Put it to space. Brown will do all the work, kick it off the ground and we get the goal.
Well, I would love to say that was by design, Hame, but unfortunately it wasn't. But like I said, a touch of luck.
Big year for you, baby, all going well. 200th, and you were on fire in your 200th. Hot as a pistol.
Yeah, well, probably not performance-wise, but definitely the state of the Tassie weather got the better of me down there. It was a cold, traditional Tassie day. We got the result against the Eagles, had family and friends there. It was a good moment.
The phrase hot and Higgins goes very synonymously with women around
Hand
Australia.
In hand.
I said before, he had plastic surgery though, so it's not exactly all natural these days, is it, mate?
Well, the plastic surgery, Phil, wasn't by design, unfortunately, but got the lip touched up at the start of the year and it's bounced back okay.
Good opportunity when you're under the knife just to have a few things done. Phil, favourite moment of the year?
Yeah, for me it was beating the Swans in the final. It was a great day for the footy club. Yeah, it's always nice to win, and you get a chance to play on a really good play, and a big game is always a big challenge. And fortunately, I got a lot of help that night, and we got the win. It was really nice.
How many times do you think you got booed that night, Phil?
Yeah, it was a busy night, I must be honest. I came off in the last quarter, and I really copped it, which was really nice. I think you've always done a good job if you get booed.
You kept Buddy goalless. You sort of kept that up. That's a big performance to keep the great one without scoring.
Yeah, I must admit he's kicked a lot of goals on me in my time. But, yeah, as I said before, it's probably the most dominant I've seen our midfield play. And as a backman, as Jimmy would know, and Sean, when you ventured out to half-back, if you've got pressure up the ground, what you can do is so much easier. And, I always try to deflect there because I was very lucky that my teammates helped me.
Don't deflect. It's grand final day, Phil.
Bit of me.
Yeah, it's
okay.
me, you today.
I was okay.
Nothing to do with the mids.
Mad Monday. Just recap on the Giants' performance. Were you a bit of dodgeball?
Yeah, I was dodgeball. Yeah, we were very average, weren't we? But I was saying before that my outfit just came about, a day before we started because I wasn't planning on losing. But we had some good outfits. I forgot that the great Jimmy Bartell went as Happy Gilmore, so that means Jeremy Cameron and weren't quite there.
What's the rating, Jim? You're as good as any on this day. And GWS Giants, how'd they shape up?
Look, I'll give them an 8 or 9 out of 10 because I love the topical ones. We saw the Bachelor there as well. Good. That was a good Nick Cummins, the honey badger down there. How many roses did he end up handing out over the course of Mad Monday?
It was more Cass, but it wasn't quite the level of... I thought, Geelong weren't quite at their best of when you were at your prime. Hannibal Lecter's probably my favourite of all time, but... any time you get a royal car at a wacky Wednesday, you're going pretty well.
Has there ever been better than that, Harry and Meghan? Anywhere? Hannibal Lecter was excellent.
Hannibal Lecter.
KB? Remember KB Scarlett?
Yeah, Matthew Scarlett.
Both, wasn't he?
Yeah, Matthew Scarlett shaved the middle of his head with a commitment, right down to be KB, and then also cut the big blonde peroxided mullet and came as Dermy one year.
How many footy clubs bring animals to Mad Monday, Wacky Wednesday? Subiaco, supremely confident. They booked 2 camels at 700 apiece.
Yeah, well, that is commitment, and I would love to have known when they booked them, and if they had them just booked and on standby for the weeks leading into it, just in case they did get knocked out. But Jim had a story about it, an animal that probably had to pull the pin on down at Catland a number of years ago.
So as we can see, Joel Selwood likes to bring props into play. They actually even borrowed Andrew Mackey's child once. It's a royal family. Took us a while to work out. Is that actually a real baby they got? But he wanted to come as Michelle Payne and obviously needed a horse. But if you know the intersection of Latrobe Terrace down there at Geelong, maybe a horse coming in through a bar. I know it's the start of many jokes, but it wasn't quite safe enough.
Needed Sub-Zero.
It would have looked good in silks as well, Joel.
Looks good in anything, Joel.
It would have been real sharp.
Favourite moment of the year, Jimmy?
Yeah, for me, it involves Sean's team, an absolute cracking game. Kangaroos v the Swans. Came down to the last kick of the game, but it was the 2 gentlemen who were involved in most of it, 2 of the better players on the ground in Alir and Majak Dor. Just their journeys to AFL football, and shows whatever pathway you want to take to AFL footy, there's opportunities there, but Alir kicking the match winner, and then this embrace. This is what our game's about. It takes everyone from anywhere, and just unbelievable moment after the game.
Madge had a great year.
He did, yeah. Probably lost a little bit, I think, because of the history of him over the last 6 or 8 years. But when you just look at the year in isolation, his intercept marking, he was second to McGovern, and we know how highly everyone rates McGovern. So we'd love Madge to carry on that for next year, and it was a good moment. Jimmy summed it up well, and looking back at the highlights, it sums up a really good year of football, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We saw the members. They've been queuing. It's become a bit of a tradition. There's going to be close to 100,000 today. Well, they are committed. They're in. They're having a beer with their friends, thinking about what might happen. But Georgie Parker, she is out and about. Let's catch up with her for the first time.
Excitement is building down here at the MCG ahead of today's big game. I'm here at the MCC Members, which has just been open. There are some die-hard fans have been here since the early hours of the morning, some camping overnight, and luck we had that public holiday yesterday, as some have been here even since Thursday. But it's a small price to pay to watch their team hopefully lift that Premiership Cup this afternoon.
Thanks very much, Georgie. We'll check in with Georgie throughout the afternoon. We've got the top 3s of the year, the slip-ups, the Falcons, and I can't wait for this. Cooney versus Georgie Parker, the final instalment. It's 1 apiece. Not quite sure what they're doing. You're going to have to wait and see. But look at him. He's so confident. So is... Oh, okay. Looks one of the kickboard challenge. That's next.
Yes, I'm stuck in...
How are they, Max? No, how old?
6.
Favourite fish to catch?
Cod.
You caught a few cod?
No, I haven't caught one yet.
Port Power fan, but your favourite player is?
Eddie Betts.
Why Eddie Betts?
Because he can hit lots of goals.
Favourite players?
I have lots. Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody.
Do you know how to spell McDonald, Tip and Woody? No one does, don't worry about it.
Josh Kennedy.
Yep.
Brad Shepherd.
Yep.
Josh Kennedy. I already said Josh Kennedy.
Yeah, no one's watching, it's fine. How many goals did you kick tonight?
1.
And they sort of took you off a bit early, didn't they?
Yeah.
How many would you have kicked if you stayed out there?
Probably 3.
At least 3. How did you play tonight? I saw you got a lot of the football. Any goals?
No, only a point.
I'll ask that again. How many goals?
7. No.
Go again.
10.
That's a good number. How many goals have you kicked in a match before? 25. 25's a lot. If you win the $5,000, how will you spend it?
To go to Fiji with my family.
Could I come?
No.
That's disappointing. Can you say Bulldogs is my favourite team in Japanese?
Bulldogs wa watashi no.
Can you do the don't argue?
Yes.
Let's do one. There you go. I like it. That is extraordinary.
Go?
Yeah, go. It is one of the favourite parts of my year, and it's the 10th year we've been doing it. And have a look at this. Isla Roscrow, 2018 NAB AFL Oz Kicker of the Year. Congratulations, Isla. Big night on Thursday night. So what we did was we gathered all the 22 nominees, got them in a room, had pies, lots of fizzy drink, and we announced the winner. And the winner was you.
Yep.
Were you surprised?
I was really surprised.
Now, when you and I met, it was round 11 at the Sydney Cricket Ground. You'd flown up from Adelaide. And you spoke Japanese, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Can you say now, in Japanese, great to be here at the MCG?
Great to be here. I think I stuffed it up.
You mucked it up? Go again. It's only live TV. Go again.
What was it again?
Lovely to be here at the MCG.
Lovely to be here at the MCG.
That's not in Japanese, is it?
No.
We'll do it in English some other time. Hey, if you, I said to you if you were going to win the $5,000, what were you going to do? You were going to buy a pet bat. Have you changed your mind?
I have changed it to get 2 bulldogs.
You're a Bulldog supporter, aren't you?
Yeah.
But you live in Adelaide.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
It is very confusing.
Now, today, you get to go and present the medallions to the winning team, the 22 Oz Kickers. Who do you think you're going to be presenting to, Collingwood or the West Coast Eagles?
West Coast. Collingwood.
You don't seem convinced on that.
I think Collingwood. I'm going to give it to Collingwood.
Yeah, okay. And tell me this. You now get the phone number of Joel Selwood and Katie Brennan, and you get to put them in either your parents' mobiles or when you have one, your mobile. That's cool. Mm-hmm. And they become your mentors for the year.
Yeah, they have.
Joel's a good man, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good man.
Katie's a great woman.
Yeah, she is.
How often do you reckon you'll be texting them?
2,000 times a year.
It's regular, and I'm sure they're going to appreciate that.
Yeah.
Enjoy the day. Thanks for being a part of it. I hope you've had fun, and good luck over the next year.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you want to say anything in Japanese?
Arigato.
Arigato, which is thank you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, can you say over to you, Russell Robertson?
Over you, Russell Robertson.
There is so much to get involved in outside the G today. First off for me is one very close to my heart. It's the NAB Mini Legends Specky Pit. Now we know that NAB supports football from Auskick all the way through to the big time, and out here they're giving kids the chance to take the specky of their life, just like the real life legends. Now let's see a big kid have a crack. They'll even send you a pic so you can show it off to all of your mates. Now let's hope we can see some marks like that out on the MCG today.
Rightio, gentlemen, we're going to do our top 3 all morning, and we're going to kick it off. Top 3 Oz kick moments. Number 3 at the moment is Jakai Thompson from Wodonga here as he busts out the worm. How's this for a move? This is you, Phil, on Mad Monday, busting out the worm, isn't it?
It was about 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and I was moving and shaking as well as that bloke, I hope.
Well, our second one here, Trent Cotchin's kids have been obviously watching one of Dad's favourite teammates, Dusty Martin, just dishing out the stiff arm left, right and centre, not giving anyone really a chance. Our number 1 moment is Harry Taylor's shot after the siren. These 2 young Cat supporters riding it tough together, praying, Harry, please don't miss it, please don't miss it. Shot goes. I'm out here. I'm catching the early bus, boys. So that was our number one moment, Hamish, from Oz Kickers and Young Fans of the Year.
I love doing the Oz Kicker interviews on Friday night, but it is the most nerve-wracking 90 seconds of my week category.
It can go anywhere.
Can go anywhere. They can say nothing for 90 seconds. And the producer in my ear goes, this is great, just keep going. This is a highly commended from a youngster performance. This is your game, Cairns, round 1, Gold Coast versus the Kangaroos.
Well,
fair to say it was wet up there?
That's a good seat, isn't it? It's a good
unbelievable.
way to watch football.
Yeah, it's just no regard for your parents and their washing situation.
Yeah.
That was actually good for the state that the rest of the ground was in.
It was extraordinary. Right, you got top 3 shockers here.
I do. My top 3 shockers for the year, and don't get me wrong, we've all been involved in similar ones to this, but number 3, Tim Memory, when you're just strolling into goal. What are the odds of that?
Can't miss.
Oh, dude.
Can't miss.
That is a moment that you don't want to see again. Number 2, well, this is having a go at all sorts of karate kicks. Missing the ball, and also I'll tell you who's the luckiest in that is the goal umpire. She has almost had her head removed. And now, Haim, how many times have you done this? You're there for media, and you just duck down into the losers' rooms just to get the jumper signed so you can put up on the wall.
Is that
Matty Lloyd?
Post-match.
And
they've lost.
And borrowed a marker from the property store. Did you see that little sneaky kid back that marker he went and found me? It was probably Eddie's match-worn Guernsey as well.
Righto, crazy fans, Phil. Top 3.
Yeah, obviously fans make the game and everything about it. And we've got some good ones here who are really enjoying the game. This first one, loving it. We've got a book on the left and we've got a sound asleep. The Dogs didn't probably have the year they wanted. And this is probably reflective of how their fans
talk about a premiership hangover. It's 2 years later.
And this bloke, we love commitment to trying to get the ball. I'm worried about his shoulders, but fortunately he didn't get kicked out, but the ripped in the jeans almost got bigger than this bloke. I was talking before, we all love Notting Hill. This bloke thinks he's Spike. Chicks dig grey. He just shouldn't be. He's got a hat and jocks on. It looks like Jacob Hopper in my change room's getting changed very slowly.
He's generally got the expression like you have when you give away a free kick. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what you got to do. You got to go, I'm probably guilty, but let's delay and see if I can change. Look, the big screen... Yeah, no, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. Get me away.
You know what the early Crowies you go?
Yeah.
It's when you predict something and it comes back to haunt you. Port Power fans said the Crows were having an early year. Well, it came back to haunt Port.
Start growing in the September holiday. September holiday. September holiday. The Crows are growing the September holiday. September holiday. September.
Now, they were right. So were they.
They joined them.
They could do a group
2-for-1 deal.
Yeah, they did a group booking. Travel agent delighted. We're going to talk about top 3s throughout the morning. Hope you enjoy the show until 11 o'clock. Next off, it's the top 3 best off-ground later in the show. And, well, the goals of the year this year, they've been remarkable. Jack Higgins' remarkable character was a remarkable goal here against the Pies.
Goey, Bagley, to go, has kicked the most remarkable goal. Back to Charlie, spins out of a tackle, kicks toward goal, and Charlie's on the money. Pollock now, tight spot, left foot, look at this. Martin in an impossible position. Oh, no, it's not, it's dusty. Smith there and shoved out of the way. Path was clear by the goal, tip and Woody. Jack Stephen, oh no! Oh no! Oh yes! Over his head, Luke Parker! What an amazing bit of play by Luke Parker! Unbelievable goal! He did it! He's had to think through that!
The brand new season of Australia's #1 show.
Who are you? I'm Dr. Sean Murphy.
He just puts a shiver up his spine, doesn't he?
The Good Doctor starts Tuesday 8:30.
In the coach's box was mentioned, but it was also mentioned that as
by whom?
Well, it has been mentioned
by whom?
Well, in the media. So
by whom?
Well, everyone gets involved. Yeah.
So who?
Yeah. By the way, I tell you if no, doesn't want to do it. Okay.
Put in.
Thanks, Dar, for the kind words, mate. I'm just happy to be out there and get the win for the Tigers with wonderful teammates and good team. Richmond, cheers. Big name for me and him, love Hall Notes. So we pumped that in the change rooms before the game, so it's all good.
Go and enjoy it, Jack.
Hey,
Jack, you're a legend, mate.
Look after yourself, Dar, and the boys.
Good on you, Jack.
Do not change Jack Higgins. Whoever is in charge of the media, the Richmond Footy Club, leave him as he is. Welcome to you, Nat Everett.
Morning.
Great to have you here.
It's Day. I'm so excited.
It's been a big week, a big build-up, but great to be here. And you are all across all of the interviews, all the chat that goes on throughout the year. Your favourite media performer?
Oh, well, it has to be that man just there, Richmond pocket rocket Jack Higgins. He's been a breath of fresh air, hasn't he, this year? And he brought back the word snags, which I absolutely love. And he's all about kicking snags, and he did that, even though I thought it was a throw.
He's been fabulous. So his Brownlow's speech just couldn't have been better. Now, if he deliberately produced what he produced, he should be commended.
Oh, definitely. 1,000 beats per minute? Is that what he said? 1,000 minutes per beat, but
Well, let's have a listen to Jack.
Firstly, my heart's pumping 1,000 minutes per second, so if I screw it up, don't hate on me.
Don't hate on me.
Yeah.
Don't hate on me.
He warned us, though.
Yeah, don't hate on me.
Yeah.
We love you.
I love that how he put out the precursor about being nervous about making a mistake, but he made a mistake.
Can't script it. And the other thing I love about him is his halftime addresses in the huddle, and he's got everyone cracking up. We'll have a look here. Look at him there.
Look, they all just wait to laugh. They
And look
know
at
what
Dusty.
he's saying isn't in any way strategic. It's just a bit of banter.
Well, your challenge home for next year is to get him mic'd up at half-time.
We've got to.
Have to.
Three-quarter time.
That'd be gold, actually. I'd really like
So after the qualifying final, he went down to talk with Bruce. He had no idea whether or not he was live or not, so he just asked.
What was your first final like?
Pretty crazy. Is this live?
That's live, mate. That's live.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
He said to us on Friday Night Footy, you can tell I'm not very good at school. I said, how could we tell that? He goes, well, I wasn't. So I played footy. He's good.
No, he is fantastic. Now, as media personalities, when you do an interview live, there are some things that can go wrong, and Lauren Arnell has done a fantastic job on Channel 7's coverage this year of the VFL, but she got a little bit stuck.
Yeah, we have got Will here. Will, the guys upstairs, I'd just like to know the conversation between yourself and Mike Cook late in the game.
Which one's Mike Cook, sorry?
It's a little bit awkward.
Dermot Brereton used to go to the crowd, grab a record and say, thanks, mate, just trying to work out who I'm playing. It's sort of the ultimate sort of disparagement, isn't it? Now,
That's what I got early in my career. All the big forwards used to do that one. They say, can someone get me a record to see who number 16 is? And I was like, that's probably fair. Fev used to call me a little schoolboy.
did you do a halftime interview first final?
No, that wasn't me.
It was you.
I must admit, my other backs are doing a great job in the midfield as well. Help me out. So, hey, one thing I know about Buddy, he's a great player. Sorry.
Why so aggressive, Phil?
Why so angry?
Why so angry?
Well, I'm not a great athlete, and I was obviously very tired. And I've made strict rules that when I'm doing any media during a game, I need to be told, Phil, you're about to do media, deep breaths, out of footy mode. And Jude snuck in too fast and got me. And my mum was very, very unhappy with my potty mouth.
You're like Jim Carrey and Me, Myself and Irene. There's Charlie and there's Hank, and there's two very different characters. And when you cross the white line, you become Hank.
Yeah, I'm not a great person when I play. I yell and I probably swear at my teammates more than I do opposition.
All right, we're live here, so just top 3 news stories of the year.
Yes, so we'll start with number 3, and I think we can't go past Andrew Gaff's brain fade. We see it here, round 20 of the Western Derby. Such a fiery one. He's obviously shattered because he's made a horrible mistake. Andy Brayshaw needed surgery on his jaw, an 8-week ban there. This is Tom Lynch. This is the other big story of the year as a free agent. So much speculation about where he's going to go. Probably, it looks like it's going to be Richmond. And then Cyril Rioli and his shock retirement. I think in some ways it was expected, but it was still a surprise to the football world to learn that Cyril Rioli, after 4 premierships and a Norm Smith medal at 28 years of age, was hanging up the boot. So that's my number 1, the biggest story of 2018.
Bruce almost hung up his binoculars when he heard Cyril was out.
Openly admitted his favourite player, but out of those guys, which one of those 3 do you think really caught you off guard?
Oh, the Gaff one for me was so out of character. That was probably the most rattling one for me because he's such a nice, down-to-earth guy, very reserved and respectful, and to do that was just so so unlike him was probably the big surprise for me.
And there was just no winners out of that episode either, was there? Like the other stories, there'll be winners on both sides of it, but that story was just unfortunate, both for Gaff but also the whole Brayshaw family, and I think the footy world as well, and also the ramifications that it has for today.
A moment of madness cost him this afternoon. It's extraordinary.
And that's the thing, it's a story that continues, and he's going to miss 2 games of 2019 as well. And where he plays, is it West Coast or is it North Melbourne? Maybe Sean can tell us. I don't think he's let the club know yet, but we'll find out in the coming weeks.
Okay.
Sean might let it slip. Yes. We never know.
I think we're discussing how many people you're getting. Lee Matthews is still hoping that he's going to get an offer, a contract.
We'll take him.
For Arden Street Roos.
Now, I do have a trivia question this morning. Who kicked the first 5 goals of the season? If you can take yourself back to round 1, Thursday night, Richmond versus Carlton at the MCG. You were probably calling, hey?
There we go. The Blues got off to a flyer.
They were amazing, weren't they? And then that was probably it for their season.
Extraordinary to think you can kick the first 5 against the reigning premier and win 2 matches for the year.
Yeah, well, that would have been the best, 20 minutes of football they've probably played all year.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they were outstanding that night, and they've got some really good young talent led by Kerno and Cripps, and they obviously got off to a flyer, and they're probably hoping to start like that next year.
Tomorrow morning, Nat?
Yes, game day. We'll be back. The last one. It's a bit sad, isn't it?
Well,
no, you're not.
We get absolutely. We get the excitement day. We get tomorrow, and then we'll be sad.
Yep.
Okay. MCG. There's so much going to happen here throughout the afternoon. And 7, you'll see it all. 100,000 or close to it. The members have started to pack in. Nat Fife, Sean Burgoyne, Alex Johnson. They'll join us on the panel throughout the morning, and the Saturday night team. And Bruce and Brian and team kick in. But have you ever dreamed of kicking one after the siren? There's been some absolutely brilliant finishes this season.
He gets a foot to it. The goal's going to be kicked by Zeeble, and the Kangaroos at the front with 20 seconds left.
Getting it to the outside. Gresham Mendiant. Would you believe it? St Kilda in front. An incredible final quarter comeback.
They all crash down. Stevie Motlop. What a time! Oh! He is floating on air now. Zach Tui, set shot. He's done it. The Cats have won it. One of the great final turns you'll ever see. Can he go again? Can he go again? Josh Jenkins, JJ! Jagger!
McCann, he managed to get boots in. Oh! Is it a goal? They think it is. It is a goal.
But the perfect storm at the left end. Jeremy McGavin has kicked the goal for the Eagles after the week they've had.
Oh, well done back there. Cochin, pirouetting. Oh, what a mark. Silvani. Up in the sky went Archie. Castagna, terrific mark.
Fritz! Oh, McGavin! Enormous!
Oh, look at that. Colossal mark. Yeah, beautiful mark.
Oh, Salters!
High ball.
Taylor Duray! Charlie Curnow! You beauty! What's a leap!
In the sky.
Ryan! He was born to fly! What a mark!
Hogan flies. That takes one of the marks of the year. That is an extraordinary mark. How about that?
Isaac Heaney, he flew high. And Georgie Parker, welcome. Grand final, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, great to be a Pie supporter on a lovely cold day here in Melbourne.
How's the build-up been at the club this week?
Oh, it's been wonderful. They're actually really relaxed down there. I think they're just playing for bucks, playing for each other. So it's a super nice environment down there at the club. Love for them to get the game win today.
Okay, you've been a big part of the game day team this year. We said, what would you like to do? You weren't sure. So Matty Gray, the producer, said, we're going to put you on a challenge system with Adam Cooney. 3 challenges.
That's it. He's a great man, great competitor, and doesn't like losing. So he did bring his A game to every one of our challenges. We had the first one was the hockey challenge. I'm the master of my domain there. So I did get the win very comfortably there.
Just the flick into the top corner from you, and Coon was surprisingly bad with the hockey stick.
Very bad, actually, unfortunately for him. And, you know, he wasn't actually that comfortable wearing the goalie gear. He did feel like he was carrying a little bit of extra weight. Hadn't really been doing much movement since he retired. Had been tapering since he retired a few years ago.
So who chose the second challenge?
Coons did, as you can probably imagine. It's a flipper race.
Of course.
So, of course, and asked him, have you run since you last retired? And he said no. So he did get the win there just by a flipper.
The most surprising part of this was Bruce getting there to do the commentary. I mean, he's done Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps, but never Cooney versus Parker.
No, exactly.
A highlight for him.
He did liken it to the Kathy Freeman 400 win back in 2000. So it was a special moment for him to be able to call such a prestigious event of the flipper race down there at Albert Park.
Top 3, I would think, for Bruce.
Absolutely.
So we get to the third and final decider. Give us a bit of a tease. What are we doing?
Well, I have been likened to Eric the Eel in the pool, so I thought, why not do a challenge in the water? Didn't actually... Yeah, well, it was a good bit of fun, so we can see how that goes. It was a kickboard race.
Was it?
50-metre kickboard race.
Okay, well, let's go there.
Let's give it a go.
Well, the big day has finally arrived. Yes, it's grand final day. Apparently, there's a game of footy at the MCG, but the real grand final is here, Georgie Parker. And who would have thought a best-of-3 series between us would come down to the wire?
I don't think you could write a better script, Penny.
Okay, so what have you got in store?
Today, we are doing a kickboard race. What do you like in the water?
I haven't been in the pool for a couple of years, so Hammies are screaming at the moment just thinking about it.
Well, it's Collingwood versus Eagles. Today, it's Cooney versus Parker. Let's get into it.
Go Eagles.
Adam Cooney wearing the blue and gold. He's got a full tummy but a big appetite for success. And Georgie Parker in the black and white, AFLW player now for Collingwood. Not to be confused with the 2-time Gold Logie Award winner Georgie Parker. Here we go. And away in the decider, Cooney, last off the blocks, first up and stroking. Look out, cameraman in his lane. Head goes down from Cooney. Parker finding some rhythm. Olympian for the Hockey Roos. Commonwealth Games gold medalist. Parker coming hard, using the breaststroke kick. Can he hang on the redhead? It's tied at 1 apiece. He kicks again, Cooney. Head goes down. Cooney gets the win. Parker second. What a massive victory for the Brownlow medalist. And what a celebration. He wins the series 2-1. Take a bow, Adam Cooney.
Well, Georgie, bad luck. Nothing wrong with a silver medal. You're a worthy opponent on the day. 2-1 for me.
Hopefully it's not an omen for things to come today. Let's go, you Pies.
Go the Eagles.
Well done, Georgie and Adam. That was absolutely fantastic. We'll continue our top 3 moments of the year. We've moved on to the cheer squad, the lifeblood of AFL clubs. They spend many hours putting together the banner. And our first one, sometimes it's just not your day. The weather just goes awry, Phil. And what can the players do here? Richmond, they pay a bit of homage to it and they stomp all over it before they run out before the game.
I probably thought that's the only thing you wouldn't do.
Number 2, the spell check sometimes needs to be applied as you run through it. Someone just... the Winnig score. So Brisbane, maybe that night they might have kicked the Winnig score. And Collingwood, tonight's grand finalist. I'm sure Eddie will run past the banner during the week just to check if it's not to nick it.
To nick.
I wonder how
it's amazing that gets through.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people working on them, isn't it? I before E. No, just whatever. Put it down. No problem.
Get it up there, stick it on.
Highly commended. Have you seen this? Tegan's playing a 100th game. Her mates decide that they will reinforce the banner with tape that can't be broken.
There's only 2 scenarios that play out in local footy in the banner game. It's either A, that happening, there's too much sticky tape, or they're strong enough to run through and they just take the 2 people down that are holding the banner up.
That would have been even better, like just see the people holding it, but just flying.
Tegan then did her ACL in that match.
No.
Ended her season.
Too much sticky tape in the banner.
Yeah, maybe. Where are we going? Fan fashion for you?
Yes, fashion. Yeah. Fashion for me, obviously more Jimmy's cup of tea, but I'll have a little dabble at this one. But first of all, we're looking at a really nice suit here, orange. Orange isn't everyone's colour, but I think it's in fashion at the moment. So this bloke's doing as well. The hat really tops off the look.
That's something got a Dumb and Dumber, yeah.
This bloke's gone a bit more old school with his St Kilda outfit. And then first and foremost is this bloke Eston, he's committed. This one's the most committed because you go to work on Monday, you've still shaved EFC into your head, and that's going to be hard to get out of.
Yeah, that's still there on Monday, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about Catman, Jimmy?
Catman goes to a lot of it. He puts a similar suit on and he gets the whole face made up. I don't think actually anyone knows who Catman is.
Fully invested, though.
Is it you? We've never seen the two of you in the same room together.
No, I'd be happy to claim being Catman, but I'm not Catman. I'd be happy to be Jason Johannesson too. He absolutely rocked the red carpet on Monday night.
Yeah, have a look at that suit. It's a bit like a pencil case that used to take the primary school. That same sort of pattern. I asked him what he was most nervous about. Was he nervous wearing about it? And the gold chain was the bit that he was...
Well, he ummed and ahed on the gold chain, but happy with everything else.
Everything else, suit ticked all the boxes, gold chain, question mark.
Yep, the gold chain was the hang-up. But now we have to get to some footy stuff. Once the grand final is finished, we move into trade and free agency. And Phil, a lot's been made about the Giants and player retention. You've got a few players that people want. Obviously, Dylan Shield, Rory Lobb, just to name a few. What's going up there at the Giants? You're pushing them out? You're abusing them too much?
I think it was just a part of what happened at the start. We had so many first-round picks that obviously generally you like them to turn into really good players, and what happened was they've developed really nicely, and 10 clubs in Victoria means that they're going to be of high interest, and the salary cap's there for a reason. You can't have too many good players, and no doubt when we offer salaries compared to some clubs, we can't offer as much, and that creates interest, and the game's changed a little bit. I think the landscape of how lists are managed, the top 6-7 players get offers that are just completely different to how you used to mould a list, probably more like when you guys did. It's just changed a fair bit, and some players like Shield and Lobb are getting offers that are out of control. But from my point of view, I know that Shield and Lobb are contracted next year and they would like to stay, but it's part and parcel of the game now.
How much do you get involved with the list shaping as co-captain?
I probably take a bit more interest than Wardy does. So obviously we get invited to meetings and I like to put my brain to it a little bit and try to chuck some ideas out there. But at the end of the day, I don't want to get too involved because I get really emotional about it because I'm really good friends. And these days it's pushing more towards a business. And for me, it's a really hard decision to make. And I probably don't make the right one because I'm probably a bit too emotionally involved.
What about the Kangaroos? Jared Pollock said, I want to be a Roo. Let's assume he's going there. Can you fit Andrew Gaff in as well?
Oh, yeah, we can, if the decision goes that way. And I don't want to go the early crow.
No. It's a real thing.
It'll stall that it can backfire, and it's happening the last couple of years as well. But, look, the club's been well positioned for this sort of scenario for a long period of time now. And
he's tall, Gaffy.
That looks all right, doesn't it?
He's grown. He's had a
work out.
He's bigger head than me in that photo, which is a good result. But, no, look, that's the ultimate scenario there. So we'll wait and see. And like I said, we don't want to go early. Obviously, get this week over and done with. And hopefully Andrew makes his decision, and he's more than welcome to make that decision at Arden Street.
Lee Matthews still wants to play. Are you categorically ruling him out?
Well, I've got a meeting with him after this, so we'll see how we go.
Righto, MCG, a lot to play out throughout the afternoon. We are looking at the best of the season in 2018. The fans, they're looking for tickets. Everywhere you go, tickets are wanted. And why not the Pies and Eagles? It's going to be a full house at the MCG. Right now, let's get to the Macca's live site and catch up with the man who's played on this day before. I speak of Campbell Brown.
We have a massive day ahead of us. There's no bigger day than Grand Final Day, and where better to start than right here at McCafe's live site at the front of the MCG with one of their new blend coffees. The girls, they're making thousands of lattes behind me, and all we ask for is a gold coin donation that goes to the Ronald McDonald House Charities to help sick children and their families. So if you're wandering past the MCG, you want a coffee, come past McCafe.
The 100 are here. Look at that! Who will get these music experts all on their feet? All together now. Starts next Sunday at 7.
John right in the head and he stumbled. Look at him, he's gone groggy. Copped him right in the mush. And he was just stunned there for a minute.
Falcon there. Oh, a bit of friendly fire there. I even get a Falcon thrown in.
He now was straight in the face. He staggered Richardson, Bruce. Oh, where am I? Little short one hit Cameron to the head. Smacked him fair in the head.
A Falcon to McDonald.
Boy, all sorts of mistakes there.
Well, that was kicked into his face. That will hurt. And a bit of a Falcon there. Right on the side of the face.
One of the all-time great Falcons. Made in the face. It's just hit him flush.
Extraordinary that Falcons can still make you laugh. Grown men sitting here laughing at blokes getting hit in the face with a ball. Was it Mario Finnick, the Maltese Falcon, that first got one in the face and they then called it the Falcon and cross codes.
NRL legend, and now we've absolutely embraced it, and don't we love them? That Ling Jong one off the start was an absolute... And the face, like, just how... I've never seen a ball be flusher on the face.
You could read Sharon on his noggin.
Chris Mayne was like set up like the old test match cricket game and just was reeling after it.
Didn't know to go forward or back and just
flushed him.
One of the stories of today is Mason Cox. I mean, from soccer to basketball in the US to here. What chance, Jimmy, did you give him when you saw this footage at the Combine of him ever playing at a decent level?
Well, all the reports were there's about 5 to 6 AFL clubs saw enough in him, and Collingwood won the race as they can. But the fact is he played a lot of soccer as a junior, so he actually had a fair bit of kicking mechanics and the ability to guide the ball down or kick it from the ground. But reports are the day he landed in Melbourne, he went straight to Collingwood's training centre and started training. So credit to his motivation and drive to really want it. And, hats off to him, absolutely tore the game apart till last Friday. We'll see a few of the highlights, and you'd be playing on the likes of Mason Cox throughout the year. What's the best way to play someone who, when they stick their arms up, is about 10 foot, 11 foot tall?
Yeah, what you're seeing here is a bloke that has no body contact when the ball's in the air, and you can't stop him. I must admit, we played them in the second final, and I watched Barassa's work the week before, and he did an outstanding job. So you just can't, if you get running jumps, you just can't get there. We had 2 kick-outs that went to when I played on that week, and I got a little block, lost half a metre, couldn't make it up again.
And you're so reliant on the pressure down the field, isn't it? I mean, last Friday, the delivery to him was good as you'll ever see. He stretched at full height. There's no one in the competition that can go with him in that.
Yeah, if you put it on his head, defenders are good enough these days to get you under the ball, and instead of being 6'11", he's may as well be 6'4". Yeah. So that kick in front, if you don't get body contact, he'll clunk them all day.
So everything's new for Mason Cox. There's going to be 12 Eagles today, Higo, that played in 2015. Does it help in any way, having been here, lost and coming back?
Well, I think it has to help, doesn't it? Experience on the big day. You mentioned 12. There's also, out of that 12, a handful probably, admittedly, didn't have their greatest day, so they'll learn from the build-up of the whole week, the build-up of this morning, and also the way that they perform on the game. But I think, and Jimmy, you'd probably be able to answer this as well. Being there, I think you're probably more comfortable, are you, the next time around?
I think you're just aware of what happens during the week, and especially an interstate side, the travel, the grand final parade and all the build-up. But the thing is that those players, those half a dozen players who didn't have great grand finals, have actually their careers taken off since then. You think of Elliot Yeo, who's been All-Australian and in All-Australian squads. McGovern's probably the best defender in the game as far as intercepting the footy. And remember Jack Darling, the first half of this year, he was rated as the best player in the game. Yep. So they've all gotten better from that experience.
It's going to be interesting with those two. They're 12 and zip when they both play this year. Go back to the grand final in 2015. They both had really mediocre days. So a lot of pressure on those two. Mark Knight posters. You two have been given them, and you're going to put up which of the posters do you think are winning this afternoon? Is that right?
Yeah, you go on.
Yeah, we'll be conflicting to my tip at the end. But
so you're not pie. You're Eagles, but holding the pies up.
Yeah, but this looks good, so I thought I'd hold this up.
What about you, Phil? Who wins?
Well, I'm going for the Eagles, and I think they'll just get up.
Norm Smith medalists?
Yeah, Luke Shuey for me. Yeah.
I think Kennedy, the big boys, will bounce back up forward.
I'm going for Collingwood and Taylor Adams to win the Norm Smith medal, especially it's getting a bit cold and blustery out there.
I'm just looking, the weather is coming in from over here, and just when is it too early to get a premiership tattoo? Do you know that someone during the week had the Eagles Premiers 2018 put on himself?
Well, that's the ultimate early crow, as we've been talking about all morning.
It's too much, isn't it?
Yeah, not for me, that one. I'd be telling all the Giants fans if we were in a grand final, no tats till about 5:30 on Saturday afternoon.
Righto. Higo, thanks for coming in.
Enjoy
really
the day,
appreciate it, Phil. Jimmy, we'll see you throughout the day. It's a big crowd, as always, rolling into the MCG. It is an afternoon to perform at your highest. If you can do it, you're a chance to live out your childhood dream. For 22, they'll be delighted. The other 22 will go home disappointed. Nat Fyfe, Sean Burgoyne, Jude Bolton are going to join us on the other side. A fresh new panel. Well, Richo and BT and I, we had a lot of fun a couple of weeks ago filming a story for Macca's. Monopoly is back. BT, he is a man that's hard to trust.
BT, grand final day at the G, I love it.
Hey, Richo.
Yeah, what?
Left lane, quick. No, we've got to get to the ground.
I want to stop at Macca's for a quick bite, Richo.
I told you to have a feed at home.
I've got to fuel up. It's a massive day. Hey, did you know the Monopoly game's on at Macca's?
No, I didn't know that.
$250 million worth of prizes.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Come on, mate. Left lane.
All right.
Welcome to Macca's. What can I get?
I've got this one, Richo. One large Big Mac meal, please. 2 large quarter-pounder meals for you and Hay.
Good.
And 3 large cheeseburger meals for the crew back in the box. Yeah. And one of those new apple pie McFlurries.
Geez, you're a generous man, BT.
I know. Thank you.
How's it going?
Good, thanks.
There you go. First bag. Drinks.
Yes, there it is.
There you go. Thank you. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
See you next time.
See ya.
Look at this, Uncle Brian. Here we go. One for you. One for you over there. Haim, I've got one for you, mate.
Me too. Thank you. That's great. Thanks, mate.
Oh, BT, you haven't, have you? The Monopoly tickets.
The more you play, the more you win.
Oh, mine's gone too. Oh, boy.
Wowee.
Wait till Bruce finds out about this.
He's going to be filthy.
Look at this. I've won a cheeseburger. You beauty. Hey, you guys should try this sometime.
I was born James Dixon Swan. This is the story of how I became Jimmy Barnes.
The movie event, Working Class Boy, Monday 8:30 on 7.
Hi, mate. What are you doing here?
How nice to have you in the kitchen. I'm a farm boy.
Yep.
I like meat and vegetables.
I love that. I'll teach you how to cook the perfect Scotch fillet. Grab your roasting dish and then throw in the corn, the broccolini, the asparagus, drizzle with some olive oil, salt and pepper, and we throw it in the oven at a really high temperature. Gorgeous. 10 minutes at 250 degrees, which gives us just enough time to cook this bad boy, the Scotch fillet, the king of steaks. Season it both sides with salt and pepper. Crank that heat right up.
Yep.
Grab the steak, drop it right on, and then leave it alone.
Don't touch it.
Radishes are in season right now, so let's just kick it up a notch to go one better. It gives a little bit of pepperiness, a little spiciness. I mean, how simple a dinner is that?
Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Fingers okay? Perfect.
I did very, very little there, to be honest with you. Just the radishes on the top. There's the MCG Sporting Precinct of the world. Close enough to 100,000 to be watching, millions around the world watching and listening. Who is the happy team at the end of it all? The West Coast Eagles finished on top of the Pies. They've won their 2 encounters this year, but it all counts for nothing. New panel. Welcome to Drew Bolton, Nat Fyfe and Sean Burgoyne. Shouldn't you be playing? That's what you do each year.
I know it's a bit strange when you're not playing out there, but yeah, we're talking about that backstage just before.
You spent enough time out there, Sean. You don't need to play another one, mate.
Just having a year off.
Are you both going to watch it today or not?
Are we actually heading to the airport and getting on a plane and flying back to Perth during the game? I can't stand to watch it.
Can't stand. No, I'm heading home, and my wife wants me to drive her and the kids back to Adelaide, so I'll get a text message after this to let me know if we're driving or not.
How are you going,
player, isn't it?
How are you going, Nat, with the Eagles being involved? This is sort of enemy territory in Melbourne.
It's hostile, and I've got a West Coast flag in front of me.
If you touch that, do you break out in a rap?
It's a good way to practice gratitude. So good on it.
Right, we've asked the previous panel, favourite moment of the year. We're starting with you, Sean.
Yeah, I've been stitched up here. My favourite moment of the year is obviously my 350th.
Come on.
It's a bit about me at the moment. Yeah, 350 against Adelaide at the start of the year. And,
but nice to be able to take all 15 kids through the banner and experience it together.
They all got through though. Well, you know, one of my sons got into me this morning about not playing in the grand final because he wants to do lap of honour and that with everyone. But yeah, that was obviously a great day against Adelaide Crows, and we got the win, which was the most important thing. And the club did a great job of celebrating my success as an individual. But yeah, happy to get the win.
You hear that? That's the first time we've heard rain on the roof today. It's going to hurt the Eagles if it continues to rain. We'll get a weather report later, but Nat, favourite moment of the year?
Yeah, my favourite moment of the year is a little bit light-hearted. Rossi Lyon going down the slide at the G. As we know, Rossi Lyon, there he is, the cobbler. So good. One of his favourite sayings, let the cobblers do the cobbler. So Ross is dressed up as the cobbler. And, you know, he's played 150-odd games. I reckon it's the first time he's been in a nice bath.
Nice to see all of the coaches there together. I mean, it's amazing what Neil Danaher has been able to do. None of us really knew about MND until Neil put it on the radar. And suddenly, everyone puts down their guns and says, let's unite together.
It's one of the great days. I mean, look at this, the horse going down as the jockey, but there's Adam Simpson as well.
That's Michael Michaels. He is figure skating.
There's Bevo doing the layback, and there's Fags obviously ripping his hammy off the bone.
I thought he was joking. I thought he just slipped and pretending he did his hammy. He said, no, I've absolutely done my hammy. It's off the bone. Operation.
As a man that's done a hamstring, that's a painful thing to have to go through.
Yeah. I'm not sure what this game was, but there was a lady that you gave flowers to. during the year. Do you remember this?
I do. I think it was Mother's Day round. Here we go.
Mother's Day round.
Look at that. We had a great win at the Optus Stadium there, the light show going on after the game.
Look at the
So
reaction.
I ought to just go up and give her some flowers there. I think she liked it.
She's I think left her husband and hoping that.
Does that happen regularly, Nat, or not?
Me giving flowers to ladies?
No,
or?
just that sort of reaction.
The heart palpitations.
When you win, everyone loves a winner, so it makes it a little bit easier.
So what do the Dockers fans do today? Do they support Collingwood or do they support the Eagles?
So everyone says that. As a West Australian, you should be supporting the West Australian teams, but I can tell you it's not that at all. We'll be going for Collingwood. Wish West Coast the best of luck, but I think all the Freo supporters will be on Collingwood today.
They're properly feral today, Sean, the Eagles fans. They are. So I just asked a couple of Eagles fans, you win today, you're confident? They said, superbly confident. We'll be home by half-time. I reckon they're going to do a number.
There's people in Perth with tattoos on their ankles already. They think they're home, and good luck to them.
Early crow.
A lot of those people would have driven over as well, across to Nullarbor and buses and cars, and so they've gone all out this week.
Righto, Jude. Favourite moment?
My favourite moment this year was round 20, Alex Johnson coming back. It was unbelievable just to see him get back after so long. Obviously, devastation the following week as well, but just to see him out there and see the smile on his face was something.
There's Joan and Graham, parents.
Yeah, it was an incredible moment.
He's obviously a resilient young man. To go through not one, but 4 or 5 of those, the 12 months by yourself, the rehab, the infections, it must be goes to show how resilient he is.
Yeah, mentally tough the whole time.
Alex Johnson's coming on the show. We're going to speak to him, but I mean, extraordinary. 2,135 days between the grand final here in 2012 and that match you showed there, round 20. 900 days at one point. He didn't run.
Yeah.
The club gathered on a Wednesday on a day off just to see him run 2 laps.
Yeah, it's obviously a huge comeback from him, and like we said, we'll talk to him later on. But it'd be interesting to see, some of the highs and lows that he went through.
My least favourite moment of the year, Hamish, was just during a similar game. I had a three-quarter time speech interview with Jeff Walsh, and I got torched. Have a look at this. It's Jeff just took it to me.
Darcy Moore an update.
Yeah, he's out of the game, mate. He's hurt his hamstring early in the game, so he won't be back.
It puts enormous pressure on Jack Majan now.
You're not a bad judge.
He just absolutely ripped me there.
You're hoping there's a hole at the SCG.
You're just digging in there. Like, no, you ask a silly question, you get a silly answer.
Okay. How are your ribs?
No, they're all right. They're
How are your ribs? How many broken when you started the finals campaign?
Yeah, 2.
Were there?
Yeah.
And Hawthorn is amazing at keeping these things really quiet.
Well, one of the things that I'm a little bit concerned about is getting out into the public, and so I try to not tell anyone. I told my wife and 1 or 2 other people knows about it. But yeah, it's obviously.
How many of the club knew?
A couple of my teammates saw me getting treatment and stuff, but I try not to tell too much of them either. So the secret can't get out if no one knows.
So Jeremy McGovern obviously had that incident last week with Petrarca. How tough would it be if he potentially has bruised or broken ribs?
Yeah, well, obviously you get your scans and that and go through it, and then you probably have some padding and get a jab as well. So
did you play with a guard?
Yeah, I played with the guard.
Do you think Jeremy will play with the guard?
Well, it's pretty ezy to tell. The guns are so tight. Yeah. I was thinking surely someone's going to see this guard on me, but no.
I thought you had a bit too much to eat.
I was thinking that too, but yeah. So we had to tell straight away if he's wearing a guard or not. And but he seems to be a guy who can push through at the moment. He's in some really good form. But going back with the flow of the ball probably be his main concern. If he cops a knee from a forward, that'll be the only area of concern for him.
Okay, watch this space with Jeremy McGovern. Let's get back out to Georgie Parker.
I'm here on the lawn in front of the G where all the camping gear has been left, and I've run into Phil and Laura who've been here since the early hours of the morning. Now, Phil, have you found your gear yet? You've been looking for a while?
No, we're still looking, unfortunately.
And Laura, how long have you been here for?
We got here just after 5.
And there's a mixed couple here today. One West Coast, one Collingwood. Is it going to be causing a little bit of tension throughout the game?
Yeah, it's been a rough week, and it's only going to get better today.
And is there any wages going on? What's going to happen if your team gets up today, Laura?
Well, when the Eagles win, Phil will be sleeping on the couch and doing all the dishes all week.
Any tips for the Norm Smith today?
Yeah, Elliot Yeo.
Elliot Yeo. And for you, Phil?
Yeah, I'm going to run with Braden Sire.
Well, I'm with Phil today. Good luck, Collingwood.
Thanks, Georgie, and big thanks to CUB. Just a reminder, you can barrel your way into the 2018 Toyota AFL Grand Final. Thanks to Carlton Draft. Head down to Yarra Park from 11 a.m, so 45 minutes away. If your kick is the longest, 2 tickets to the AFL Grand Final. Have a look at that. That's big. Not quite 60, but he's going to be having a kick somewhere today. Just a reminder, on the kick, Nathan Jones. He's going to join the boys. So too Jimmy Barnes. Mahalia, his daughter, will sing the national anthem. So it's a family affair. And the Black Eyed Peas, they are the entertainment on this huge day in Australian sport.
It's okay. Yeah, I understand. Thank you. That's why he's going off. Tell me when we're good to go, Shawnee.
You've got your arms around him and you're preventing him from leading.
I'm very happy with that. Well done. Do you have a copy of him too?
Thanks,
Top umpire moments of the year. Razor Ray is a certainty every year to feature in that, isn't he? Does anyone talk more than he does to the players?
I think he's well aware that he's got a mic on and he's
Friday night footy
time. He loves it, Razor.
We don't talk to that, okay? Not like that to each
Shawnee.
other. Yeah, sure, Shawnee, exactly. Highly commended. This is a hit to the groin. Like the Falcons, just makes you smile. Bang. Just a little one. Didn't get in the top 3, but it's enough just to sort of make it on grand final day.
That will hurt.
Yeah, and you know the cameras are on. You just got to brave it out, don't you?
You do. You can't be grimacing too much.
No grimacing. Top 3 slip-ups.
Top 3 slip-ups. We kick off with the Swans interchange steward, John Payne. This is on at the SCG. He's been there for years, Payne, and you can see he's already on his back in the middle of the...
Is that 19 on the ground?
They should have called for the 19th man. Really silly. Now, Perth-based media personality Mark Readings. You can see he's just bringing over the cup.
Oh no! Wow!
And he's dropped it straight up.
Really?
And lastly, we've got the Hawks water boy. Just going to give Isaac Stephen just disappears.
Get your feet there.
Just get your feet. Get your feet.
Needs a screw-ins.
Screws.
Yeah. You good on your feet now?
I'm not great on my feet, so which is interesting why they've given me the top 3 dance moves.
Ah, very good.
At number 3, we've got big Tommy Boyd from the Bulldogs here. Just starting to strut a bit of his stuff as he walks out of the physio room.
You know the cameras are on, don't you?
You have to be aware. I think you have to be aware. And sort of, we go to the West Coast here. This is half-time at a West Coast game. Liam Ryan, Willie Rioli and Lewis Jetta. And I'm sure Liam Ryan knows where this camera is. If you have a look here.
Jets.
Yeah! He knows. He knows what's up. Coming in at number 1, the boys from the Demons.
Oh, what's this called? Is this out of Fortnite or something?
The Fortnite dance. You were telling us the Fortnite dance. The boys, they've obviously choreographed that and put a bit of work into it.
They have, but there's also one more to go. I reckon this is the number 1. It went viral on Instagram. There's Tim Embry with the red jeans on as well.
Yeah.
Look at that.
He can move.
He's very smooth.
Obviously very happy with himself too, the way he just walked off. But smooth.
Strange but true. Top 3.
Top 3 strange but true. First of all, Scott Pendlebury. This just shows the class of the man when you're able to bounce out of the centre and bounce it on a pigeon on the way out.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. Just takes one with him as he goes. This was round 12 in the Claremont game.
Pigeon or Pendles.
Take a look at this. Just take some meditation time. Just a little bit of visualisation in the middle of round 12 game for Claremont.
Unbelievable.
Gets up.
Is that in the middle of the game?
Just gets up. Right up. I'm right to go. Random. Really strange.
Modern game.
And the last one was Grimes. Dylan Grimes, as he walks out, gives it off to Dan Rioli and just gives him the phone. Just before they're running out. How casual are they?
Oh, the Tigers boys are having fun down there, aren't they?
Who could be on the phone at that point?
I don't know.
Pizza delivery guy? Anyone.
Daniel. Okay. Nudity. Best off ground. There's a fascination at Geelong with sort of getting naked. Surely you know it's getting out, do you not? Everywhere around the league, people are just happy just to be... But the Cats, Jude, each week...
Yeah, they play nude soccer.
Tommy Hawkins.
Yeah, it's a bit...
I think they're happy.
What happens
with
at the Hawks?
They're happy with their rigs down there.
No, we keep our clothes on. Well, there's Sonny.
Bradley.
Teammate.
I mean, we took over him. He's never got any clothes on, Brad, and he's quite happy with his rig, I can tell you.
And his dance moves too.
And his dance moves. He can move, though.
What about who's the best prankster at Fremantle? Who can you sort of have, or who do you need to be aware of?
It's between Brad Hill, Hayden Ballantyne. They're the two that you're always got to watch your back around.
Yeah.
Have they performed anything on you?
On recently,
Yeah.
the best one this year was a first-year player, away trip. Hayden Ballantyne's got up to his room early and filled his bed up with sugar. so he's got into his bed and he's going, what's going on in my bed? There's sand everywhere. Had to move all his stuff to another room. Well played, Hayden.
Bradley Hill was pretty good. He once hit a camera in the elevator and was jumping out from behind a screen, scaring everyone. and we got a trainer who's about 85, 90, and he didn't jump out. He gave him a hug and said, "I can't do it to you. I don't want your heart to attack."
What about the Swans, Jude?
We had guys like Nick Davis put someone's car keys in quick cement at one stage, and they came back and were just trying to rattle it out. And then the old one's just like the banana in someone's boot for a week when it just opens up. It's like the Green Mile. It's like the flies come out. No good.
These are some of the pranks from 2018. It basically just scare people in lockers.
Yeah.
The wet willy, a classic on the planes over.
Yeah.
Unperturbed.
There we go. Oh, when someone's sleeping, something always in the mouth.
Now, Britt Davis, I'm not sure whether it was a prank, but it was an extraordinarily difficult question for Joel to answer. Britt Davis asked him a question which I'm going to ask you in just a moment. Let's just have a listen at what Britt asked Joel.
He's crying.
Yeah, I got it. You know my kids.
If you were to never see me again, or win a premiership, what would you choose?
Win a premiership. I've needed to search for my whole life. Because I knew you'd do that.
You're an a-hole.
They're now engaged.
Yeah.
If Ellie said to you, you've got an option. You never see me again or you win the flag in 2019.
Never ask a question you don't want to know the answer to. I'm winning flags every day of the week. I love you, Ellie.
I'm on that. I've got flags already. I've got enough flags, so I'm going to take my missus. I do love you.
Another flag.
You're retired.
Another flag
You're
will be pretty handy.
Well played.
Well, the Eagles, they're trying to win another flag. They're 3 from 6 in grand finals so far. Can they win a 4th? The Pies, if they win their 16th. But this is this morning. This is a hotel. They're quiet before the storm ahead this afternoon. What a moment they've got ahead of themselves. The Pies, well, they'll be coming from all around Melbourne. Let's check in with Campbell Brown. He's won a flag for the Hawks.
Spring Racing Carnival's in full swing. Joining me here is superstar jockey Damien Lane. He's riding Humidor, the second favourite in the Underwood Stakes tomorrow. But more importantly, he's an avid West Coast Eagles supporter. What are you more nervous about?
I'm looking forward to getting out to Caulfield tomorrow, but very nervous about the game today.
Stella Artois Caulfield Cup Carnival is coming up in a couple of weeks. There's 5 massive Group 1s over 3 race meets, culminating in the Caulfield Cup. Have you got a ride yet?
Haven't got a ride as yet. Won on a horse called Night's Watch last week, but unfortunately he's down in the weights, so I won't get down. But I think he'll be a big chance in the race.
Can anything beat Kingswell Dream?
He's a good one as well, but I think Darren Weir's got a good handle on the race.
Best time of the year, go to mrc.racing.com, find out more and get some tickets.
With 2018 Toyota AFL Grand Final tickets up for grabs, Telstra challenge fans to stream the footy from an unexpected place on Australia's best mobile network. Here are the winning entries. Who will be here today to watch the match live?
AFL-X had off-field razzle, but AFL-W had on-field dazzle.
Oh, what a goal! Goal of the year contender!
Climaxing with a Bulldogs premiership. Fans never disappoint, whether they're fired up or fast asleep. Some left with headaches. And for the deluded kick-to-kick hero Captain Underpants with a security escort. There were slip-ups from cheer squads and commentators.
Oh, you've just broken it.
In the suburbs and the big league.
How can you miss that? About the bird.
Pendles was the pigeon whisperer.
Has that ever been done before? No.
But Dylan Grimes had trick of the year, catching out an unsuspecting teammate pre-game. Hey, Dan, it's for you. The Specky was the mark of choice.
Oh, look at that! That takes one of the marks of the year.
There were miracles over heads against the boundary.
Josh Thomas with a miracle goal.
Around corners.
Oh, yes.
And posts. But there's nothing quite like the drama of a shot to win it after the siren.
After the week they've had, it spills out of the Adelaide Oval.
Don't you love it? You can still live out your childhood dreams at about 25, 26 years of age. Jeremy McGovern did it. Zach Toohey did it.
Remarkable kick after the siren is what we all want. To be able to finish like that. Harry Taylor missed one, but to be able to finish like that with a win, unreal.
Luke Parker, round one, kicks the goal over his head against the Eagles. He's like the clubhouse leader for, what was it, 16, 17 weeks, and then Jack Higgins produces that. If you're voting, who would you give it to?
I would have went with Luke Parker because I thought Higgins was a throw.
Really?
Oh, he's giving it a throw. At least if I like Luke Parker's kick over there, the Ronaldo, unreal.
I'd probably go, no, I'd stick with Jack Higgins. I thought a bit of creativity.
You can get it boot any way you want, can't you? No.
Oh, well, if you're pushing the ball down, but if you throw it up...
But the fact
a ruckman throw it up.
He's gone around the post, so there's controversy.
Just
there's
like when
grey
you get
area
tackled,
everywhere
just
there.
all sitting up.
Well, they got paid anyway. His speech was outstanding at the Brownlow.
We enjoyed that.
Yeah. Without giving it to him, you don't get the speech, so we're all happy.
Exactly.
I'm not happy, though. Cyril has retired.
Yeah, he has.
The game's worse off.
Everyone keeps saying that, so it was a very emotional moment when he retired, obviously at 28, still got some years, but he's happy with his decision to move home and just got to back that in and let him go and start the next phase of his life.
So Matt Gray tries to get top threes together, our producer. He got down to Cyril's 1,033 top moments and then came up with these. There's very few players, Sean, that have done more without the ball.
Yeah. They have. I know he's electrifying. I think that's like in his first year of footy right there, and I think that may have won goal of the year.
Teenager. This is is this a granny in
2015?
15.
This was huge.
This was my favourite Cyril moment of his career. In a granny, to do that in a grand final, and your teammates just left.
There's a grand final in 08. Look what he does to Maxi Rook. He's got 3 cats around him. So he's taken him right to the ground, scraps Rook, ball still about the place. Takes on another. Ball gets delivered inside 50. Limo's a Hawks fan. What did he say yesterday at the lunch route?
I think David Copperfield was in the crowd and he demanded to know how that trick was done.
And then Stephen Hawkins tried to work it out physically and couldn't get to the bottom of it.
Well, I think it says a lot about Cyril. 2 of his top 3 highlights are in grand finals. So when the big games rolled around, so did Cyril.
You can watch those highlights all day long. Amazing.
When the big nights roll around, Clarko falls asleep. Monday night. Was he tired, drunk, or a combination?
I don't know what he was doing. He was talking to us like about a minute before that. He was over at our table. He's fallen asleep. So Bobby,
who prodded him? Who's
Bobby? That's one of our volunteers at the club. He brought along as his date. Prodded him, but yeah, he was up and about before that. He reckons he was just deep in thought, but
he was sounder.
Shawnee, what do the Hawks need for 2019? What do you think is going to be the missing piece? Is it Dylan Shield or what's going to move?
Well, at the moment we've been linked to every player out there looking to change clubs. So I think we're into Dylan Shield, Stephen May, Chad Wingard. Apparently, that's what I'm reading in the paper.
Take one of those 3.
If we can I'll take any one of them. So as long as we get some good talent in, I'll be happy, and we can improve again from top 4.
Choose a player, Nat, that you don't have, that's available, that you could bring in.
Jesse Hogan would be handy, I reckon.
There's plenty of talk about. I mean,
there is, and as Shawnee said, the nature of free agency, the landscape's shifted. Everyone's being linked to every other club. But we're looking at a couple, and it's great that players want to come to Fremantle. They see what we're building. Hopefully we can consolidate the next couple of years where we want to play our best footy.
There's been whispers around Lachie Neale. I've been unhappy there. What's the latest there?
Yeah, I think we need to be careful not to confuse opportunity with being unhappy at the club he's at. I've had lots of chats with Lachie, and so has Ross Lyon. We think he's happy with the environment he's at, but there are potential opportunities at Brisbane where he's been linked to go and further his career up there. But we're pretty confident that he can achieve everything he wants to and more staying with us in Western Australia.
Speaking of chats, this week alone there'll be that many chats amongst coaches and players this whole week. The footy managers and things go crazy this week, so it's a busy time.
The big problem, Nat, if you lose Lachie Neale, you lose this talent and you just can't find this anywhere.
That's the hard thing. He's a
clap single-handedly.
I don't know if it's a clap, but I can make a noise single-handedly with my hand, yeah.
Well, let's go for it.
I don't know how I figured out how to do that.
So how do you replace that?
I watched that live when you did that with him. That was the most remarkable bit of television I've seen all year.
Have you seen it before?
He brought it out once before at the club, but physically it doesn't make sense. I don't know how.
That and Cyril. Doesn't add up.
Unbelievable.
Let's get to Georgie Parker. She is outside the G, or maybe inside now.
I'm here with a bunch of West Coast supporters who've all travelled from interstate to be here. Now, where has everyone here from here come from?
Landed this morning from Perth.
Hobart.
Perth. And what links would you go to get a ticket for today's game?
Well, the wife might be watching, so I'll cook someone a dinner. That's all right.
Are we talking money or are we talking something else?
Whatever you want.
Whatever I want. Oh, wow. Do you need another camera in?
And what would you do, Sylvie?
I'll ask Basil. Basil, have you got a ticket there, Basil? You don't need yours, do you?
Well, we're hoping for a ticket for all you guys. Good luck in your search today.
Thank you. Go Eagles!
They're pretty confident, the Eagles fans. They're starting to roll around the concourse. It's going to be full to the brim again. Alex Johnson to join us on the other side. And tomorrow, game day, it's a big grand final wrap.
10 is game day.
Join us for our season finale. Lee Matthews, Jimmy Bartell and Jude Bolton deliver their grand final post-mortem. And we hear from the 2018 premiers. Plus, Kathleen and Nat will have all the fallout from the big dance, and Byron Cook will join us to relive some of our favourite moments from the season. Don't miss Game Day's 2018 finale.
So good last week, close to the line, and now over. And that's a victory for the Swans right there. And then Johnson, good looking kick. Just missed. Well taken by Johnson. Johnson gets back. Well played by Johnson. Hanbury to Malcheski. Is that the grand final? Sydney are premiers. Back to Johnson. 1 of 4 from Xavier. And they're home all right. They've done it. What a team. That culture, the Bloods. That's what it's all about.
Grand final 2012, 20 games in his first year, didn't miss a beat in his second, 25 from 25. Alex Johnson, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
When you look back at 2012, the grand final, what emotions bubble to the surface?
Oh, you know, goosebumps just come back. It was an unbelievable day. It's what you dream of as a kid growing up, to play on the big stage on the last day in September, and to live out that in my second year was just unbelievable.
So going into your third year, you've had 2 years. You've had this moment. You haven't missed a game. I assume you're going into your third year thinking it's just going to get better.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You look at these guys, like one of my close mates, Ray Shaw, lost the grand final in 2002. It took him, 10 years to get back there and finally taste it. So, to get there in my second year, I thought, how good is this? I'm going to go on and play, 250 games, win 3 or 4 flags, and it'll be a great career. But, yeah, things can change pretty quickly.
Alex, you can do your knee on the big stage, or you can, first round in the pre-season the following year, out of Blacktown, this horrible moment. It was, what are your memories from this first incident here?
Yeah, look, I was really looking to build on 2012, and the first couple of years I had a full pre-season in 2013. Felt really good going into my third year, and thought I'll start having an influence on the competition. And yeah, to go down and 10 minutes in out of Blacktown, it's not a great place, Blacktown, at the best of days, and yeah, it was definitely a dark day that day.
Yeah, Alex, I heard you speak yesterday. It was very powerful. The room was quite moved. I've missed a season with a broken leg, but you missed 2,136 days between games. What was it like coming back after that?
It was unbelievable. I think the average AFL career is 4 or 5 years, and I missed 6 years out of the game. It was just amazing. I just knew the amount of work I'd put in to finally get back there, and setbacks along the way, and yeah, just to share that moment with family and friends and the boys and stuff like that on in round 20 against Collingwood was everything I'd hoped for and more.
Were you more nervous round 20 this year or round 3 2011 when you debuted?
Oh, no doubt this year. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, definitely. Just with my body and my knee and stuff, I just knew that I'd put so much work in to try and get back. And as an 18-year-old, you sort of don't think about things too much. But I was 26 playing this year, and I was really nervous. I couldn't talk before the game, and
your girlfriend was asking you things, and you actually just weren't responding at all.
Yeah, that's right. I tried to spit the words out, and couldn't even talk to her. So it's not unusual, but yeah, it was different. It was a different time. So very nervous, but it was unbelievable.
There was a surgeon that said to you midway through the 6 years, you've got to make a choice. What did he say to you?
Yeah, he said it was the end of 2015. It was probably the worst things got. I was rushed to hospital to get on top of an infection that I had in my knee, and he said to me, "Look, do you want you want to live a normal life and try and save your knee, or do you want to have another crack at playing footy? And for me, it was a no-brainer. I just wanted to play footy. That's all I've ever wanted to do. And he did another procedure on me and got ready for a reconstruction with Julian Fella in 2016.
So we saw you come back this year and play, and then unfortunately injure yourself again, and then you're going for surgery, and then you wake up and Heath Shaw is
you lose again
in the same room as you. So,
lose.
And there was a photo put out about that as well. How was that? That's obviously a bit light-hearted moment.
Oh, no doubt about it. It makes things good going through something like that with Heath. He's I've got to know him reasonably well. Obviously being good mates with his brother Reece, but you wouldn't wish that upon anyone being in hospital with him.
So just going into round 21, so you've played one game, 2,136 days, move on. So going to the second game, are you feeling like a footballer again?
Yeah, finally I walked out of the club on the Monday thinking like, how good's this? I'm back to being a footballer. It's what I've craved for so long. Just normality of running out each week and preparing for games.
And then this happens, and do you know?
Yeah, straight away. If you've ever done a knee, you know straight away that I'd done it, and it was instant pain, and you just know what's happened.
There's Mum Joan coming to check on her boy.
Yep.
At quarter time, you went out to the team, but I'll ask you what you said at quarter time. But do you guys even talk at this point?
No, we just exchange glances, and she knows what's going on, and I just tried to keep everything in check. I knew the football world was watching, and behind the bench, as you guys would know, there's all the radio presenters and those types of things, and they're all just looking for your reaction. So I just tried to keep everything in check and make sure the emotions were held.
You went out at quarter time, you'd spoken to the physio, you said, what do I do now? What was his response? And then what do you say to the players?
Yeah, I was just sort of lost. It was an eerie feeling at the MCG, and I knew everyone was looking at what I was doing. I just did what was natural to me. As you said, I asked the physio who I've shared a lot of moments with over the years, and I said, what should I do? And he said, do whatever you want. So I went out and I lied to the younger boys and said, no, I'll be fine, I'll be back. And they believed me.
So you were just trying to keep it in the moment, don't worry about me.
Just trying to keep it normal. I mean, I knew it was a must-win game for the club. We needed to build some momentum, going to a finals campaign. So I just lied to guys like Tom McCartan and Will Hayward, and they all just went, oh yeah, cool, and got on with the game. But obviously like Jared McVeigh and Dan Hanbury and guys that I've been through a bit with knew what was going on and knew the severity of the injury. But it was just natural to go out there and just get around the guys again.
There must have been a constant communication between you and the club around moving forward, and what was I guess that final decision when they decided to cut you this year?
Who's in the meeting?
So you boys would have had your exit meetings over the years. I walked in and John Longmire and Tom Harley are sitting there, and we'd had a bit of discussion about what it was going to look like going forward, and they said, look, we just don't think we're going to go with you in a playing sense anymore. And you can't prepare yourself for that. I'd thought about it over the journey, and I'd faced some pretty dark days and thought this could be the end. But nothing prepares you for that conversation to have. And walking out was instant disappointment.
So Alex, what now? 2019. At this stage, what is it looking like for you?
Yeah, look, I'm not too sure. I'll let everything unfold over the next few weeks. I'd love to play on. That's my dream, to play on. I feel as though I'm in a better position this year than I was, say, 12 months ago. I understand I've got a new knee injury, but I've had the surgery. Everything went really well. Tyson Goldsack's playing today after just 6 months, so I feel as though I can have an impact in 2019 at a club if they were to give me a go.
So your bad knee is the good one now, and your good news is the bad one. You're going to be confident you can get it right. It's just whether or not the club says, I'll roll the dice.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I've got full confidence. Julian Fella done the last couple of reconstructions on me on my left, and that's as strong as ever, and he's done the one on the right 6 weeks ago now, and I'm really confident. I know how to rehab it. I've obviously been through it a few times before. I'll look forward to hopefully having a crack at playing at the highest level again in 2019.
We saw Tyson Goldsack come back and play in such a short amount of time after going through a knee. Can you relate to that, or does that give you some inspiration that you can get back after such a short time out, and he's actually having a really big impact as well for Collingwood?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, he's an unbelievable story. To do it in March, and he's played 4 games, and this will be his 4th game. It's a grand final. It's an unbelievable effort by him. Does
it surprise you with the amount of confidence he has? Because they say when you come back from a knee, it's a lateral movement and just to play without thinking. And he looks like he's never had a knee injury.
Yeah, he does, and that's the thing. I mean, any injury, as you guys would know, it's all mental. You've got to sort of fight those mental things and stay positive about it. But he's had a really good impact. It does give me a lot of confidence. I think the stigma around an ACL injury in Australia is a lot different to what it is, say, in America. Everyone here thinks it's 9 to 12 months. NFL players are getting back in 5 and 6 months. So I don't see there's any reason why AFL players shouldn't start moving in that direction.
What you've done to get back is remarkable. Your mental strength has sort of inspired us all. Good luck for the next part of the journey. Love to see you on a footy field again. If not, enjoy whatever's next.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Alex Johnson, hard to believe what he's been through. Footy can be a very cruel game at times. Well, at the end of the day, there's going to be some happy players. Will they be wearing black and white, or will they be from the West Coast? Plenty still to come. Nathan Buckley opens up on life, and today it's not just the AFL. It's cricket on 7 today. The Epsom Handicap is on 7 to next week. Winks, the mighty Winks. She runs again at Flemington.
Worried about missing the footy? Well, don't, because Australia's mighty mare Winks headlines a massive spring racing carnival live on 7. The carnival continues with Winks back at Flemington for the Turnbull Stakes, who will win the richest race on turf on Everest Day at Royal Randwick. Caulfield is turning racing on its head this spring, featuring 4 Group 1 races as part of Caulfield Guineas Day, followed by the $5 million Caulfield Cup.
Boom time has won the Caulfield Cup.
Can Winks win a record 4th Cox Plate in the world's biggest race this year?
It's a Winks blitz.
The spring culminates with the Melbourne Cup Carnival and the race that stops a nation.
Kindling has won the Melbourne Cup.
It's all live, it's all free across the screens of 7.
You spent 23 years of your life trying to make the Collingwood Football Club the best. If it happens on the weekend, what would change for you?
Oh, if I said not a lot, would it make sense? I mean, I'm really proud of the evolution of the club over the last couple of years. I think that it's a more humble club. I think our playing group really personify that and drive that. I think we're more aware. I think we're more appreciative. I think we're more caring. I think we're more genuine, and that is what I'm proudest of being a part of.
14 years as a player at the Pies, 2 as an assistant coach, his 7th. 23 of his 46 years, as we said, has been trying to get to this moment and win this final game of the year. Seems like he's a very different person now to as he was as a player and maybe as a coach 12 months ago.
So relaxed. I mean, we got a sense of that. I've got a chance to interview him even at the MCG here for Anzac Day, and before the game, just super relaxed. You can see he's stepping back from some of the meetings, but it's carrying into the players, isn't it?
I'd agree. He seems more rounded. The question is chicken and the egg. Is it the success which makes him be more relaxed, or is it the relaxed environment that comes with the success?
Yeah,
it's a great article in the paper today, and he spoke about it, and you'll see more of that interview throughout the day, but he read a book called The Courage to be Disliked, and basically what he's saying is all of my life I've been behaving like I think people expect me to behave. I'm now going to be mean. If people don't like me, that's fine. I'm going to smile, I'm going to laugh, and I don't need to be as intense as I have been. And that is, if you speak to Tyson Goldsack, and what a great shot there, Jet and Ace, the 2 boys getting involved in the journey. He said, I wouldn't have involved my kids in the journey. Because I would have thought people said, you can't have your kids in the journey. Now they're in the journey, and we're all loving it together. Tyson Goldsack says it's never been a better place to be.
Well, there's no point in getting to the end of your career or coaching career and you haven't enjoyed it. You know, you want to enjoy the ride while you're here. You're living your childhood dream, and that's what we want to do. And grand final day is what you dream about, and you've got to enjoy it, and you've got to get your family members involved. And I know at Hawthorn, when we were there, it was all about bringing your kids and your wives and girlfriends and making sure they enjoy the moment as well.
But that calmness then goes out to the players and the way that they conduct themselves in the game, just not letting everything just be evolved and just, I guess, just taking that pressure off you as you're playing.
Yeah. Let's get to Georgie before we have a look at what happens this afternoon.
I'm feeling nice at home with the Collingwood family. I'm here with Anthony, Christian and Denise, who have been here for a long time now. You're a Collingwood supporter from way back. You were at the 1953 Grand Final.
I was in my mum's tummy. I was born a few days later on the 4th of October. But as Dad was a severe Collingwood supporter, she had to come, my poor mother.
And Christian, you were at the 2010 Grand Final. You're wearing the Guernsey now to celebrate?
Yes, I was at both Grand Finals in 2010, so the nerve-wracking draw, and very relieved to see us win the next week.
And Collingwood runs through your family. Like you said, you're born into it. Now, there is a West Coast supporter who has actually legally changed her name to West Coast. If you were to change your name, who would you be changing your name to?
Stevenson. I think he's a great player. He's our future. I love him.
And you don't think Goldsack or Sidebottom's a wise choice?
Yeah, what do you think, guys? Nah.
And you're in a bit of a four-peat here, in a bit of a lucky streak for the Melbourne fans. Tell us about your lucky streak going forward.
All my footy teams have done well this year. Melbourne Victory, they've won their premiership, and also the Canterbury Crusaders. And I've also got Collingwood this weekend and the Melbourne Storm. So I'm on a four-peat. I'm really hoping they can do it, and I'll be celebrating big time if they can.
Yeah, me too. Let's go Collingwood!
Come on! Go, number 16, go!
Well, are they going to be happy at the end of the day? You talk about this day being an opportunity, Sean. You walk away happy or not. Jack Darling would have been walking off in 2015 thinking he'd had a very bad day on a really big day.
Yeah, well,
chance for redemption.
And obviously, yeah, when you dream about these moments, and you always dream about yourself playing good footy and playing, and I don't think it went to script for Jack that day, and he's back here now, and the whole team, there'll be a number of players who played in 2015 who'd want to make amends for that, but you're never going to get that day back, so you've got to make the most of this one.
Fifey, the non-Victorian teams coming to the MCG. You've been at one of the teams that came here. How tough is it to win here? We see the record currently, 0-5, the advantage for the teams away.
Yeah, I think it's difficult. I mean, we have the new stadium over there now with similar type dimensions, and so we try and build the game plan that suits both grounds. But you have to win a grand final, you have to play it at the MCG. So the coaches do their best to demystify Victoria, the MCG, the history that comes with it, and just try and normalise it. It's just grass with goals at either end, the opportunities to score more than them, and you win the game.
What about dimensions v crowd, Nat? So you've got the dimensions sorted. What about the atmosphere, the hostility? Does that play a big part for the interstate of travelling? I mean, it's going to be pro-Collingwood today.
I'd be lying if I said it didn't.
Yep.
But we get the advantage over there in Western Australia and understand that you can use that for or against. And so, I mean, Collingwood will be riding the wave of emotion from Victoria and from their supporters going into this game. West Coast need to score early and try and block that out.
What about the injuries? The Pies continue to get challenged. They haven't blinked. They just keep walking on.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show that how big their list is, or how well their depth is. You know, they can get an injury to key players, or centre half backs and full backs, and they can just get players to come in, play their role. And you think the players they got out: Daniel Wells, Darcy Moore. You've got Lyndon Dunn, and Matt Scharenberg. They're all out long-term injuries, but they just got players coming in, playing their role, and that's what they're getting at the moment.
What about Chris Mayne? What a story. Only 3 games last year. We thought he was, in the abyss, really. He's come back and he's playing an extraordinary role week after week.
It's a great story in footy, and he really deserves it, Chris. He's come in, he's going to line up in the grand final on a wing for Collingwood after the year he had. And what I love about what Maney's doing at the moment is his tackle pressure's back. They can use him down back. They can use him in the mid. It's a good story for Chris.
Okay, so who wins it? Norm Smith.
Well, I'm going to sitting on the fence at the start of the week, but with the conditions at the moment, I'm going to pick Collingwood, and I reckon still side bottom. The final series he's had so far has been outstanding, and I think his form's up, and he's feeling good about himself, and that's just going to roll into today.
25 seconds, sum it up. We've got to get to Russell Robertson.
I always get my tips wrong, so I'm hoping that West Coast wins today and Elliot Yeo wins the Norm Smith battle.
Collingwood for me, 19 points. Taylor Adams best on ground.
And if the weather holds out, does it favour the Eagles, Nat?
I think so. They're big key forwards, clunking and kicking goals. They'd hope for that.
Great to see you all. Sean, Nat, Jude, big day ahead. The kick on the other side, but right now, let's get to Russell Robertson.
We all know how important it is to support grassroots footy. Toyota have raised over $5 million for local clubs right throughout Australia through the Good for Footy program. I'm joined by superstar of the GWS Giants, Callum Ward. Callum, tell us a little bit about the Dunkin'ator, how we can raise some more cash.
Yeah, so the plan is to hit this footy on the target. I'm going to dump my good mate Toby Green here to raise some more funds for local grassroots footy.
Good on you, mate. And I hear you got a bit of a special giveaway as well.
I do. We've got a chance, if you come down here to the Dunkin'ator, a chance to win 2 grand final tickets. So everyone get down here and show your support for local football.
Absolutely. Well, they're running out. There's not many seats left. Come down, you can get involved in that. Without any further ado, mate, let's see if we can get your mate nice and cold in the dunk. The Dunkin'ator. Here he is. Go. Oh, he's just missed. Oh, he's cheated. How cold is that? All right, make sure you get down here. You can win yourself some grand final tickets. How'd you go, Tobe? How was that?
It's all good, nice and cold. Good way to wake up.